Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode with us RGJ Trains at David Junction. You'd think I'd know how to say that by now. So this week, again, we're managing to film in advance, so things can always change as it goes on, but...
Can always change. Don't you mean will always change?
Yes, this is true. But for this week, Rob is continuing with his mountainside down from MPeentjes.
Getting rid of those awful gaps that you can see.
So that's going to be him there. Obviously, things like the tunnel are going to be left to me because Rob knows ever since we made the ones for the old girl how I wanted to do an old and disused. So I'm looking forward to that, but that's not yet. And on that, are you going to have any look at maybe trying to start the track as well, or...?
Not until that's 100% finished.
Oh, okay. So that's laying that, but...
You haven't got your teeth in today, have you?
I haven't. But for me, I'm hoping to really get on with the trees. So I can't remember if I said before, I was trying to attach it, having my shakes, and it just wasn't attached. Even rocket glue, I was shaking too much. So I called up WWC and I think this time it was Edison that I spoke to. I'm sure it was because I said it's always Rob that speaks to him. But thank you to Edison. Just going through me, I was like, well, what glue can I use? And I think we came off from it that you can either use super glue or like your PVA or your basing glue. So we need to go and get PVA. That's actually stopping us as well because we've got another loco rolling stop box.
PVA, we've got PVA.
Yes, but it dries too slow if you've got the shakes and you're there trying.
But you just said we need to get PVA.
No, super glue.
No, you did. You said we need to get.
Glue.
You said we need to
super
get PVA.
Glue.
Right. We'll see in the comments, shall we? So we need super glue and oohoo.
Yoo-hoo! Yes, actually, you do need yoo-hoo for your bits. So, yeah, I'm hoping to crack on with the trees as long as the shakes settle down for me.
That's the effect I have on you.
Yes, it is, dear. Is this where we get crickets playing, guys? But yeah, if not, I've got a few little bit. I'm at the stage where I'm doing odds and sods. So I've still got to finish up at the back there. I've got to start airbrushing the clouds because obviously as we're building things inward, it's going to be a lot harder to get to there. I've still got the church to finish. I'm not going to bore you with that because it is literally still picking through the gravel at the moment. So unless I can get that done next couple of days, there's no point you seeing that bit. That's for ballasting in the summer, isn't it? So, yeah.
Grace's Mountains.
Yes, so I've got little bits and bobs to do, but I think it's really what's going to work best on the day that I film. Because like I said, we are managing to film this early. And, you know, it's just as the days go.
RGJ trains organised. Wow.
As always. Usually it's you. Usually I'm like, yep, I'm doing this, this and this and this. But
I know exactly what I'm doing.
But obviously, guys, I know we've had conversations on our live streams about people, you know, wanting to stream videos. It's okay to be like this. You know, I know a lot of you that have been in this for a while, but if there's anybody new watching that thinks, oh, you know, I want to start a channel or I'm doing a channel and it isn't working, just take a breather. You know, if you're finding that you want to do things, but then you suddenly get there and you just feel flat, walk away, take a break. It's okay.
It does work.
You know, there is no rush. And this is why this week I'm very much leaving it to, it is going to be a surprise because I don't know myself yet.
Well, we were talking on the live stream as well. One or two of our viewers were talking about starting to do live streams.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yep.
Look at our first, seriously, go back and look at our first live stream. Disaster zone. If nobody joins in, you're going to be doing the work anyway. It's being filmed, and as people join in, you just get to say hello, welcome in, and we will support you. And I think, the rest of our community, as it showed.
Oh, just let us know and we can shout it out. But I think the weirdest thing for like live streams is especially you're having a conversation with yourself.
That's nothing new for me.
Or me. That's something that I definitely felt very bizarre because I had done live streaming with my portraits before RGJ, where Rob never had. So that is one of the weirdest things. A little way you can do things like that is put an earpod in or a headphone. Obviously, you can't have the music playing because of copyright, but have it in your ear so there's something going on and not just silence. That's another tip. But obviously, if people want us to do a video on maybe tips and tricks that have worked for us with live streaming and videos, please let us know in the comments. That's something we haven't thought about doing.
Well, to be honest, I think rather than tell or show people how to do it, I just think we're better just encouraging them to do it.
Yes. But if people would like a video, it's
they can ask questions.
Let us know. Let us know. Maybe we can look at answering these questions, or maybe, sorry Jason, might pinch your idea, we might set up a Q&A, because that's something we haven't actually done, is it? We get people in our stream and ask for questions, and we haven't for a while. But yeah, so that is the plan for the week. Obviously, members and patrons, hopefully by the time this comes out, we have been able to give you a patron and members live stream this week, hopefully. But planned a Saturday as usual. Like we say, with it being a bit warmer now, we are getting in earlier. So if you find you're missing the streams or you're missing quite a bit, we are starting to slowly go back to the usual 7 o'clock.
7:30, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the kind of plan to get back there. So just keep an eye, guys. It's always changing. So yeah, I think I'm going to head off now. Rob definitely knows what he's doing, so he's going to start. And we will catch you later on. Bye for now. Hi, guys. So usually the first bit is Rob, isn't it? And it seemed probably a good idea that I didn't know what I was doing this week. The reason being is Rob last night on our Patrons and Members Live cracked on with grassing this. However, as you can see, it's not quite been successful. I'm not sure why, because I wasn't really watching it because I was working on the church. But I think it was still maybe a little bit damp. If you feel here and press it, you can feel some bits. So Rob's asked me to maybe try and have another attempt. I think possibly I just need to let it clear and maybe get dried a bit. And then see if we can do something to not lose all our grass. So I'm going to crack on, see what I can do, guys, and we'll catch you in a bit. Hey guys, so me again and to the camera. The reason being is it's all change plan again as usual with us at RGJ. So with our issue with Rob, you might be able to see it behind me, I'm not sure, but we've had the same issue with the grass all coming off. So because of that, I have got in touch with WW Scenics again. The reason being is we know it's hugely user error. So I just want to say again, we're not sponsored by WW Scenics, but we do love their products, we love their customer service, and today is another example why. So I've spoken to Simon this morning, who's in the shop. I never know which option to press when I phone him up, but whatever option I press, they are always fantastic. So a big thank you to Simon especially, but the whole WW Scenics team. And again, if you haven't used it, we do still have our discount code for you guys active. I'm looking there at the screen, and hopefully Rob will be able to put it there along the bottom again if you haven't used it already. But speaking with Simon, there could be a few different reasons why it's not working for us. So the first one being that obviously the batteries that you use are the 9-volt FFP3 batteries. Sorry, not FFP3, PP9. Oh, I've messed it up. Oh well. But there's me trying to look smart. That failed miserably. But we have not replaced those since we've used them, and we've had them in since last year. So we're just going to go fresh again. We've bought all new batteries, so we're going to try that. The other thing being is the basing glue was a previous issue. We've got new basing glue, and also the same for the static layering grass can spray. I believe internationally you can't get that, but you can have a pump action. So we've got those two new products as well to use. And then when I was speaking with Simon, I had a sudden thought. the paint that we've used for all of the layout is the Cuprinol outdoor paint. So we managed to get it quite cheap last summer, but I suddenly thought of the issue, and Simon as well wasn't sure, that usually they test it on things like acrylic paint, but we're using an outdoor paint. So that could also be an issue. Another one being is the time. So when you do your first layer, usually leave it a little while. I suppose in summer it's not as bad, but especially when it's still not quite warm enough yet for that quick drying, is doing your first layer and leaving it 5, 10, 15 minutes just to let it to settle. So I have set it up as long as I spin the right way. I have set up to do a little experiment here. So I will readjust the camera when I start. But guys, the experiment we're going to do is we're going to have 2 sides of each, one with the seasoned Cuprinol paint, and then I have an acrylic paint here. And then what I'm going to do is this side is going to be the method that we always do. So add the layers, add the layers, spray it, add the layers, spray it. The other thing we sometimes forget is when you finish your layers entirely is use that static grass layering spray again just to seal it in. And then this side I'm going to do completely blank of. I'm going to do the first layer, leave it for a little bit and then come back to it. And then that way it might be able to actually highlight what our issue is. The reason we're doing this, guys, is just so you know as well and don't make the same mistake as us. I know quite a few of our subscribers have been with us for a while, but they have also been in model railway for quite a while. They're quite seasoned modelers, but we know we do have some newer people as well. So we'd rather do this just as a way that if it is an issue we're doing, at least we're not giving out the wrong information. So I'm going to crack on now, enough talking, and we'll see how it goes, guys. Well, a good morning to you all. So for all intents and purposes, a proper experiment, I thought it was best to leave it until the morning because that's when we usually got our issues. So at the top we have our way and at the bottom we have the way of leaving it, hoovering, leaving it. So you might not be able to see that well on the camera, but there is a bit of thickness difference. But already, well, there we go. We are lifting straight off with our top way. And I usually use this brush for getting any grass or anything. I do the hoover. Obviously I can't do the hoover with you guys, but that top layer we are getting off. Or if I look at the bottom layer, I'm not getting anything off. The differences could purely be that we are doing too much grass, and because we're not leaving it, that is sealing it in, and maybe that's why it's not adhering. But this is in the acrylic paint as well. If I do that, it's coming right off. If I do same here, that's coming off as well, and you can already see the grass there. But this is how much as well that I got hoovering off the bottom layer. So for fair purposes, if I go and do this with the finger, we're not getting any lifting. So we've always said it's our error, and I think purely, guys, we're just putting too much on. It's not the paint, it's purely us. And like I say, you can see the layer here, so I think we're putting too much, starting the next layer, and it's not having anything to adhere to.
It's a Rob error.
Well, I've done it as well, so. But yeah, compared to this, like I say, you can see I'm doing it fairly, using my finger on both, and I'm not bringing the thing up. So I think in future, guys, and for anyone doing this, definitely leave your layers. It was only about 15-20 minutes as well that I left this, so it's not that long. It's not fully warm yet, it's not the heat of summer. So 20 minutes I hoovered it, and it's absolutely fine. So I definitely think in future, guys, and if you ever do it and you're new to it, just leave your layer.
Wow.
I think that's what's bringing it up. Like I said, I thought I'd try the paint just to see if it was that, but we're getting exactly the same. So yeah, give time for your layer.
Batteries.
But it's done it on that, but not that. The bottom where I've given it the gap. Yes. Obviously, replacing your batteries if you had them out the shed it did make a difference on it sticking up. So I think that's purely. But anyway, I'm gas bagging on, guys. But that's the experiment. I will quickly show you as well what I was up to between, just before we end off. Like I said, it's a lot of talking and a lot of experiment. But Rob ordered for me the paint storage box. And
surprise.
yes, so I finally have my paint out. When I need them, I can literally just grab them. Absolutely love it, but be very careful with your placement, because that can affect it. But we've got it. And there might be a video coming out on this as well, guys, just as a little, different one. So thanks all, as always. Sorry it's been probably a bit of a long one with the talking, but we wanted to let you guys know, hands up, it's our user error. So
Rob's not doing any grassing anymore. Rob's going to stick to track and electrics and stuff.
So yeah, thanks all, guys. As I said, it proves user error proper way. So thanks all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.